I am genuinely so frustrated right now because I had to uninstall every single game off my computer just to make space because I had no space to even film a video. I have no space on my computer to film anything, so I had to go back. I needed to uninstall every single game I have on Steam from my computer. And this is not even the first time this has happened. A week ago, I literally deleted every single video off of my computer, every single photo off of my computer, every single big app, and I had maybe like 10 gigabytes of space, and then I turned on my computer today, 0. No space at all. So I don't know what is wrong with this computer.
Computer, turn this guy into a raging homosexual.
Anyways, sorry for that rant. I just had to get that off my chest because I know I've said this in my videos before, but I hate this laptop. Like, it's really just a mystery to me. There's always a new problem going on with it, but it's the only laptop that I have. So anyways, I'm back after almost 2 months of not posting anything. I got really lazy after I finished school and I was like, how about I just rot for a month and just not do anything? But I'm back now. And today we are going to be talking about orangutans. This is completely besides the point, but whenever I think about orangutans, for some reason, Bonsai Buddy always pops up in my mind. You know, the little purple desktop assistant that used to like chill out at the bottom of like your computer screen and like tell you jokes. For some reason, like I always think about Bonsai Buddy whenever I think about orangutans, which doesn't even make any sense because Bonsai Buddy is a gorilla, which is like a completely different thing. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, my mind just correlates the two together. You know what I remember? That Bonsai Buddy was actually malware, which was crazy. And it was actually a virus stealing your information. Anyways, this is completely besides the point. I also keep wanting to say orangutan, but it's actually orangutan. But I'm so used to saying orangutan. So if I make some mistakes in this video, please just allow me. Allow me, fam. Please and thank you. So orangutans are great apes that live in the forests of Malaysia and Indonesia. There are 3 different species of orangutan, which include the Tapanuli orangutan, the Bornean orangutan, and the Sumatran orangutan. I hope I didn't butcher those completely. I most definitely did, but I tried. Great apes, or hominids as they're also referred to, are a family of primates that include 8 different species and 4 different genera. And the 4 genera are Pongo, Gorilla, Pan, and Homo. Sorry. God, Hannah, during Pride Month, you're so insensitive. What are you doing laughing at that? Whew. I really just cracked myself up.
Be who you are for your pride.
But basically, Pongo contains all the 3 orangutans I named before. Gorilla is the eastern and western gorilla. Pan are chimpanzees and bonobos. And then homos are humans. So we are also one of the great apes. Basically, all great apes are categorized as such based on a few different factors, such as evolutionary relationship, physical traits such as a large brain, our complex social behaviors, and also lack of a tail. So those things are what make great apes great apes. So orangutans under the Pongo umbrella diverged from the rest of the other great apes around 15 to 19 million years ago. And because of that, they're a little bit different. So they're tree dwellers. They don't chill out on the lands like every other great ape does it. They're different. They do it different. The orangutans do it different. So yeah, unlike any of the great apes, any of the other great apes, orangutans are tree dwellers. They are actually the largest tree-dwelling mammal in the entirety of the planet. And they're also incredibly intelligent. Of course they are, because why would I be talking about them if they weren't? Their name even literally translates to people of the forest in the Malaysian and Indonesian languages, which makes sense because we share 96% of our DNA with orangutans, but they're not our closest ancestor. That would be chimpanzees and gorillas, but orangutans would be close third. So we're still very, very closely connected to them in terms of our DNA. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen an orangutan. I'm sure you guys have seen orangutans, at least pictures of orangutans, but they're very human-like. Like, it's actually like kind of sinister scary, if you ask me. There's even videos of them like chilling up on like a golf cart, like driving it. But yeah, they're very human-like. However, despite them sharing around 96 to 90% of their DNA with humans, they are semi-solitary animals, which is completely different from humans, obviously, because we are highly social animals. I know I'm highly social. I can't stop yapping, but anyways, yeah. But there's a good reason as to why they're semi-solitary, and it has to do with their diet as well as the scarcity of food in the rainforest. So orangutans need a large amount of ripe fruits, bark, leaves in their diets, like a big amount. We're talking huge, tremendous. And if all the orangutans were to live in a group in one area, they would completely deplete all their food sources there pretty fast. So in order to avoid a scenario like that happening, they spread themselves out as a way to survive. I actually cannot even have more than one tab opened right now because it feels like my computer is about to explode. So yeah, I really love this laptop so much. I just love it. Although orangutans don't live in tight groups like other great apes like chimpanzees and gorillas do, they are still very highly intelligent animals, so they can recognize members in their community, and they even sometimes come together for small temporary gatherings. So although they are mostly solitary, they still do have some social aspects to their lives. The exception to this is female orangutans and their children, their offspring. Mother orangutans and their children will spend 7 to 9 years together in the wild, which is the second longest childhood dependency of any animal on the earth besides humans. Sorry, I just got really close to the camera all of a sudden. I realized that my webcam just has issues focusing, so I gotta be really up close and personal with you guys for it to focus on my face properly. So hope I'm not weirding you guys out. This almost decade that a baby orangutan will spend with its mother is essential for its cultural learning as well as learning how to survive in the rainforest. And when I mean it's necessary, I mean it's necessary because an orangutan needs to be taught essentially everything by its mother. Number one is their diet. So orangutans can process and identify hundreds of different kinds of plants, fruits, but this is something that they need to be taught. They need to be taught which plants they can eat, which plants are edible to them, which parts of the fruits are edible, which parts to avoid, which ones can be toxic for them, how to open specific kinds of plants like spiny fruits. And so these are all things that need to be taught. This is not something that they are born just knowing right off the bat. Like they come out the wazoo and they're like, I know which fruits I need to eat. They need to be taught which plants are edible, how to open up specific plants, and they spend these years with their mother learning these skills. Number two is they make tools. So kind of like very reminiscent of early human behavior, orangutans make tools to be able to make their lives a little bit easier. So they'll do things like they'll strip the leaves and twigs off of branches and use like branches to put them into trees in order to extract honey or termites to be able to eat them. They'll make shelters. They'll even make makeshift megaphones to be able to amplify their calls. So orangutans are very, very big into the tool use. They like to make tools. And these tools are not something that is innate to them, like they don't know it right off the bat how to make these tools. They need to be taught by their mother. Number three is nest building. So orangutans will make a new nest in the canopy of the rainforest every single night. So a baby orangutan needs to be taught which branches are safe to lie on, which ones are dangerous, which ones can't hold your weight, how to weave the branches together to be able to create a little platform for you to be able to sleep. Another big aspect of learning for these baby orangutans are navigation. So you can imagine that getting around the rainforest is probably pretty difficult, even as a human. Like if you put me in the rainforest, I probably would not know what to do. So a big part of these years is spent teaching the baby orangutan how to navigate the rainforest, which branches are safe to cross, which ones aren't, and how to sway them to be able to propel yourself to the next tree, which is something that orangutans do. They sway in the trees and they propel themselves across the rainforest, which is pretty sick. But overall, learning is incredibly important to orangutans. Without their mothers, baby orangutans would not be able to survive in the wild, as they need this basically decade-long learning session to be able to know how to survive in the wild. And that's why, even in like orphaned rehabilitation centers for orangutans, they will have human caretakers basically take on the role of their mother. So the caretakers will take on the role of the mother orangutan, and they will have essentially learning school with all the baby orangutans. They'll be taught by their caretakers every essential skill that they need to survive in the wild. And once those years are up, they're able to release these orphan orangutans out into the wild successfully, because they're taught how to survive. But without these years of education, these baby orangutans would not be able to survive in the wild. That is how important learning is to orangutans. So I think that's so interesting. I love what got me into orangutans was learning about the relationship that orangutans have with their mother, and how long they stay with their mother for. I thought it was very interesting. Again, it's the second longest childhood dependency of any creature on the planet besides humans. And that's originally what got me so interested with orangutans. But besides all this, orangutans are incredibly intelligent. Orangutans are one of the most intelligent species of animal on the planet. They're comparable to around a 3 or 4-year-old human in terms of their intelligence. Besides being able to construct tools, which we've already talked a little bit about, orangutans are very good at solving complex puzzles. And when they solve these complex puzzles, they typically do it in a way that's very cautious and very deliberate. And this probably stems from them in the wild relying on previously acquired knowledge rather than just instinctive behaviors that they have, which probably makes them better at solving these puzzles. They're also incredibly perceptive. You would imagine as such, because they spend 8 to 10 years learning, 7 to 9 years learning with their mother. So they've been documented learning skills from humans, such as riding a fucking golf cart, which I talked about before. So yeah, they're very perceptive. They're very fast learners. Like, that orangutan was driving that golf cart better than I can drive a fucking car. So they're pretty smart. They're also able to learn sign language and be able to communicate with humans using that, which is pretty fucking crazy too. I've seen a lot of videos of orangutans just throwing out some sign language. But yeah, it's crazy that they even have the capacity to be able to understand language and be able to communicate with us using language such as sign language. And they're even able to recognize themselves in a mirror, which could potentially mean that they have a sense of self or consciousness. However, I know I've talked about this in a few of the videos, the mirror test, but I'm not a very big fan of this test as a means to be able to measure animal consciousness. I think the mirror test is something that humans use because our main sense that we use to get around in the world is our vision. And so we're able to look in a mirror and we're able to be like, oh, that's me. However, for other animals that rely on different senses rather than vision, like bats, for example, like put a bat in front of a mirror and like ask it to, see if it can recognize itself. A bat can't even fucking see. They have awful eyesight. Hi, so I just lied to your face. Bats actually do have pretty decent eyesight. I'm editing the video right now, but it still stands that they mainly use echolocation to get around in the world. They rely on something like echolocation, and they have sonar. So to put them in front of a mirror and expect them to act the same way that a human would be able to, I just feel like doesn't make any sense, because animals like bats get around the world differently or experience the world differently than humans do. And I think it was Thomas Nagel that wrote What It's Like to Be a Bat. And in it, there was this part where he was like, imagine what it's like to be a bat. Like, imagine hanging in the dark, making like noises as a human on a branch. You'll never be able to know, like, you can try to imagine what it's like to be a bat, but you'll never be able to know, because you're always going to think about like how it feels, like you're a human imagining what it's like to be a bat. You're never going to be able to put yourself in the headspace of a bat. And so I think when it comes to measuring animal consciousness, I think it's better to go about it in a way that's more conducive for the animal. Like for dogs, for example, like dogs, their main sense is smell. So wouldn't it make more sense to conduct a test with a dog regarding their smell compared to other smells in terms of consciousness? I just think that the mirror test isn't really the only way that consciousness can be tested, but in this case, the orangutans did pass the mirror test, and so they could potentially have consciousness. But I don't like the mirror test. The mirror test, I think, is thumbs down. As you guys could tell, I have a fixation on animal consciousness. That's one of my main fixations, and that's why I went on that tangent. But orangutans are also very good at spatial awareness. So they're able to determine exactly at what times in the forest a specific fruit will ripen. And they'll remember it all in their brain. And they're able to remember exactly where in the forest these exact fruits are and at what times they will ripen. Yeah, so they literally have like an internal clock in their brain, a spatial map that they're able to just remember. And now I must bring you some unfortunate news about orangutans. They are critically endangered. Like, critically. There's been a severe decline in all 3 different species of orangutan, and it's mostly being driven by deforestation. Like, orangutans rely on the forest canopy, and if the forest is no longer a forest, they don't have many places to live anymore, unfortunately. They're also killed when they accidentally wander onto plantations or illegal logging operations. They're typically killed, or they're poached. And their low reproduction rates don't help their case either, because females only have children every 3 to 5 years. So it's very difficult for them to be able to recover any losses in their population. And Tapanuli, the newest discovered species of orangutan, only discovered in 2017. And it makes sense why they were only discovered in 2017, because there's only around 800 of them left in the wild. So they are on the brink of becoming extinct. And without intervention, all 3 species could go extinct within 20 to 50 years. I don't know, like, it makes me really sad. It really does. It's so messed up that such a beautiful species of animal is on the I'm gonna fucking cry. It's sad that such a beautiful animal is on the brink of extinction. Sorry to end the video on such a sad note. But it really does just make me so angry and so upset that there's so many beautiful animal species on this planet that are facing extinction because of humans, because of the shit that we be doing, you know? We should just be doing less of that stuff, you know? Let's just leave them alone. Let's just let them exist. Because they have every right to exist on this planet as we do. So we need to keep our other wildlife that we coexist with on this planet in consideration. Methinks that we should do that. But anyways, that was orangutans, guys. They are one of my favorite animals, and I hope that after watching this video, they're one of yours too, because I think they're super sick and super cool. And hopefully my next video will be soon and not in 2 months. So see you guys in the next one.